500K each, right?
Between me and Eric, our combined net worth is, I guess, it's like what, 8 digits or 9 digits, right? So
Yeah.
combined is easier to
Yeah.
hit, man.
All four. I think all four of us add up got nine digits portfolio size.
Eric contributed 99.9%.
Why you all need to keep flexing?
So an interesting article just hit Straits Time with the title "Journey to a Million: Young Singaporeans on Fast Track to Financial Freedom Bear All." So they started, simply put, by explaining the idea of Gen Z. So in 2024, the youngest millennial will be 28 years old, and the oldest Gen Z will be 27. So I think really on this whole idea of social media and talking about the journey to a millionaire, there has been a rise in people sharing their journey, whether is it from the perspective of saving to $1 million or working towards that $1 million. And from basically this, so they did talk about financial transparency and openness online reflects a broader quest for authenticity amongst the young. So relatability and authenticity are the pillars of a strong social media personality. Part of their authenticity is sharing your story, your vulnerabilities, your ups and downs in life. Essentially, in order to be an authentic personality on social media, you shouldn't be afraid to bear it all. So I think before we go around talking about, because this is a very extended, very long article, which with different points of views, I just wanted to get the opinion around the table. Maybe Bunti, what do you think of this rising of social media influencers talking about their journey to $1 million and whatnot? What's your take on this? Or have you came across them and what's your thoughts?
I don't know. I only remember there's one part mentioned about people flexing about their portfolio, flexing about how much their net worth. Shit, I think we are guilty of this. Chicken. That's the only part that I feel that. But I think it's people doing all these things for different things. Yes, it's true. Some people they just want to, like, let people see that, oh, I drive big car, I stay at condo, I'm rich. I mean, the social element is there. There are also people who do a lot of like influencer stuff, for example, like sharing their view on the market, their view on, like their portfolio. I think sometimes it's like just having discussion on all these topics rather than, trying to flex. So maybe don't think too much. I think everyone have different, intention when doing all sorts of different things. So don't over analyze it.
So Bunti is coming from the so-called flexing perspective, right? Then
Yeah.
Kelvin, what do you think of this people being very open or transparent in sharing their portfolio and building to 1 million?
Open. I think flexing is for me, at least for me, my goal is to share lah. Flexing. Now I also don't really show my portfolios. There's nothing much to flex. Okay, you can flex when your portfolio is small, but when you have like 1 million, 2 million, you flex. People also cannot relate to you. Like, hey, what's this 1 million? Like I work my whole life also cannot reach that. Some people can't relate. So, and also it's more also to give a bit of inspiration. So for the siblings, they are flexing. No, they are not flexing. They are sharing their journey to $1 million. So people say, oh, actually this is doable, because for them they are not just investing their money. They're also doing some side hustle. They're also doing this the TikTok thing. Then the brother is doing the trading thing. So all of it added up will reach $1 million. So yeah, then people get inspiration on how to earn money other than just working because no one teach them how to use their money, how to earn money other than your parents, your teachers say, oh, you have to work hard, full stop. That's it. So if you want to get more ideas, I think these are the places where people learn from.
On the topic of the Weeblings, right, I believe they do share their monthly like revenue and their expenses as well. So sometimes we talk about like pay transparency or like how much you actually earn from a small business, right? I think they are taking one step in a better direction compared to, the traditional Singaporeans. They always hide here, hide there, company policy, this one cannot say, that cannot say, etc. So maybe Eric, what's your thoughts on this social media uprising in, I guess, $1 million journey for younger folks that are trying to hit this goal?
I think it's good to have a goal, like something to work towards. But I just want to check, right, for the Weeblings, right, when they say 1 million, is it like split among two of them, or is 1 million each?
It's a combined portfolio.
A combined portfolio. So
Yeah.
maybe more accurate to say like working towards 500K. Is it more accurate to say that? Because per pax.
No lah, it's 1 million lah. Like Punti, like I'm sure he's dishing out 99% of the contribution to the combined portfolio. So it's a combined.
Always use
you can't
combined.
say,
It's easier. Use combined.
you can't
easier.
say
Like,
500K each, right?
Between me and Eric, our combined net worth is, I guess, is like what, 8 digits or 9 digits, right? So
Yeah.
combined is easier to.
I think all four of us add up got like 9 digits portfolio size.
Eric contributed 99.9%.
Why you all need to keep flexing? Yeah, but to answer Chicken's question, yeah, I think it's a good thing to have a goal. It's just that I kind of respect the Weebling because they very consistent, and they have been consistent in uploading content. Yeah, because I think you and I both know that there's a lot of like so-called aspiring content creators. They will just put out, and then after 2-3 videos disappear, because it is a lot of work to document your journey. It is a lot of work. Kelvin makes it looks like it's very easy, but it is a lot of work to film, to edit, to make time out, to think of ideas, ideation. All this is a lot of work. So I think that if they can keep to it, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And it will also inspire other people to likewise
Yeah,
follow in.
the discipline. And
Yeah.
also, I think this is good development, right? You imagine that, let's say we are talking about nowadays, people share all sorts of things, right? You want to learn about, let's say, options. You go YouTube, go TikTok, you check. There's all these people sharing their journey or sharing their method. Not saying that all these people sharing their stuff is like the best practices. We can't, like, you have to go one by one, but at least there's discussion. So as long as you're interested with something, right? Someone at some forum, they are sharing their stuff already. You might take that as the first step, and then from there you keep on discovering the adjacent areas, and then you can perfect your ways or your methodologies. You compare this to, let's say, like 20 years ago, when nobody share anything. Let's say you want to learn about investing, everyone just close the door, do their own investing. You ask your friend, how do you invest? They say, why you ask me? You go ask someone else. Like no discussion at all, and then you don't have materials to even like talk about it. You want to discuss also, people don't talk about monies, so it's even harder to learn, right? So I think this kind of environment is really good for the learnings, especially for the younger one. It's easier to get exposure. I think the difficult part is that, yes, it's easy to get, but it's also easy to get bad kind of influence. So that one you need to like just keep on looking for quality materials, and know how to pick the right persons to influence you. Yeah. Like Kelvin one is good influence now, of course, but there's also some bad influence, right? So need to be
Can
careful
you
of
give
that.
some example of bad influence?
Okay, cut to next.
So on this point, right? So we understand that Bonti shares a more skeptical view of the idea of flexing, while Kelvin and Eric talks more about it from a positive influence, inspiration point of view, right? So actually in the article, they did quote Mr. George Wong, who's a senior lecturer of sociology from the SMU. So he actually stands more closer to Bonti's point of view, where he questioned their motivation on why young people see the need to do it. And I quote, from a more cynical and critical point of view, this could be interpreted as a form of conspicuous display of financial literacy as cultural capital, by which the chronicling of their knowledge and experience is seen as a way to flex. So a slang term, flex, means to showcase or to boast. Yet, one could also see this as an exercise for validation. If there is something to be concerned about, it will be whether if it is healthy to overemphasize the seeking of external validation from social media on things like money matter, given that everyone's journey is unique and often quite personal. Thoughts, Eric and Kelvin? Eric first?
I haven't really shared like my portfolio, obviously because privacy issue lah.
We can't relate lah, Eric.
We
Huh?
can't. We can't.
We can't.
No lah, can lah. It's just quite personal lah, I guess. And plus, I'm not running a YouTube channel myself. Yeah, previously I set it up to share a bit. Then after that, I got lazy. So, maybe I just stop it. Yeah, because like I say, the consistency is very important. Really, if you can find YouTubers that share consistently, weekly, right? Not even say like Kelvin, like every other day. You just weekly, it takes a lot of work to just maintain that consistency, the discipline. So lor. Kelvin?
Actually, this article only talk about the good parts about maybe not for the online sharing thing. They're only talking about the good part of it, but they don't see the bad part, which is whatever people say, if you are seeking online validation for all this stuff, you affect you when some hater comes along. So this morning I saw this post, do not listen to me, I'm just a degen gambler. This was after someone posted, dude, you can buy this store, the stock has rallied. Then it didn't rally, then people go and complain about him. So this is the bad part about it. If you want to share your portfolio, when it drops, be prepared for people to attack you. So there's always the good part and bad part. Even for sharing of the how to reach $1 million by Weeblinks, I'm sure that they will get a lot of haters also. They'll say, oh, you reach $1 million by accepting sponsored posts to sell stuff to us. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready for that kind of backlash or not? Yeah.
I would say maybe for the audience, right? Maybe don't focus too much on the person sharing it. Treat this as like just sharing just one person's opinion on certain topics that he want to talk about, right? So I think this one really have to give credit to those who are doing this kind of sharings, especially the younger one. They really know how to package their stuff. Even just a simple opinion, they know how to say in a way that can relate to many people. That's why they get famous for that, right? Because the content is easier to digest rather than you need to, seek for some authority figures, some professor to talk about finance. But anyway, we don't hear often, like stuff like, for example, portfolio building coming from a finance professor. So no this kind of things on the public forums, right? That's why I think at least for those content creators, right? At least they take the first step already. They start out with all these conversations. And then now with the help of, like, let's say ChatGPT, you read any forms of all these opinions, you can always, like continue the conversations with ChatGPT and then see any topics that you're interested, you still can learn, right? So I sometimes I give like a lot of credit. I respect all these content creators who put up the first, who initiate the topic as a discussion. But it shouldn't end there. You should keep on drilling as long as it's a topic that interests you. And we don't have to rely on authoritative figures anymore. Anything's just the quality of the content, right? Have to stand on itself. Like you don't say, okay, this is right because I am the authoritative figures. I'm the professor. What I say is right. You have less and less this kind of direction, and more towards like, okay, the content is good, then it will go viral, and then people will share it, and then it just stand on its own. I don't know whether you all have some, like this kind of agree or not.
I feel like times has changed a little bit, where institutions and so-called credibility last time has slowly eroded the trust amongst the public. So in a way, that's why there is this gap that needs to be filled, and people stepped in to fill this gap. It's ultimately, if you do believe in like the whole capitalism demand supply thing, right? If there's nobody that wants it, there's no demand, then there wouldn't be a supply. If you really do believe in market forces, then to some people, it just feels a bit sour grapes that, oh, all these people no credibility, or like, why they need validation. But I think there's a very large conversation that is kind of taken out, like what Kelvin said. It's not just all positives or all negatives. So it should be more nuanced in that perspective. But so that's the first part, right? When we talk about people seeking validation or flexing onto the public. So the second part, let's talk about trying to get being financially independent, or trying to so-called quote unquote get rich quicker from a younger generation perspective. And they kind of shone the spotlight on two specific, I won't call them couple, because one is a sibling couple, one is a couple. So they did, I guess, shown spotlight on one guy called Mr. Koh and Miss Yong. So in August 2022, they gave up their 9-to-5 grind to become their own boss. And they were at the age of 23 and 22 years old, respectively. So in order to secure, basically what they do is they are a live streaming couple. So in order to secure the distributorship deal, the guy worked for 7 days a week for 4 months as a food panda delivery driver, cycling roughly 12 to 14 hours a day to earn around 3,500 a month. And they basically took this whole live streaming thing very seriously. And right now in October 2023, they actually started out working at a rental office in Wood Square. So what basically happened was that they basically made 2 TikTok videos and they posted and essentially went viral. So one was their viral video on how they started their business, and the other one was their first step to trying to make $1 million. Similarly, the same concept. And they both garnered around 445,000 views. And that month, they actually generated $30,000 in sales. And then sales continue to grow from there on. So that's on the live streaming couple. The second one, which is what we talked about, which is the Weeblings, the millennial siblings. Don't know whether I should mention her age, but the sister is 31 and the brother is 28, and they both shared a love for making money and productivity tools and content creation. So when they started out, they decided that $1 million was a collective goal, and they shared that it was an achievable amount between the both of them. So when they started out, they only had about 38,000 from past investments in stocks and crypto. So I guess at the time of this recording, they said that they aim to hit it by end 2026, which is 2 years and 1 quarter. And right now, the number they are at is roughly around $250,000. So that's basically their growth and their trajectory. So I think just wanted to understand. I also don't really know why, or I don't understand why people are so allergic to people sharing their journey of hitting $1 million. I think, at least from my own perspective now, I do think that it's quite inspirational. People would want to learn from them. But of course, we need to recognize the difference in like circumstances, nuance, how are they doing it. And I guess the skeptical bunch would say that, like Kelvin said, you're trying to gain an audience, and then ultimately you are trying to monetize your audience at the end of the day. But I do believe that nobody runs a monopoly here. So if you're okay, or if you're comfortable with the risks or the downside associated, I think you can start your own journey to $1 million as well, and try to get a go at this whole content creation thing. And if you manage to build this whole business around content creation, social media, then I think kudos to you as well, meaning people think that your opinion or your sharing is worthy of something. So that's just my own general opinions on that. Maybe you'll get the biggest influencer here, Kelvin, to share your thoughts on this.
My thoughts. Okay. I think for the people who are skeptical, I would just say that it's a self-reflection thing. They are just trying to justify why themselves they can't do it in the first place. So for example, the day I received comment is, I was talking about the salary of politicians in Singapore. Then they were asking, why they need so much money for? Or are they going to eat the money to live? Are they going to buy diamonds every day? I mean, like, this job is open for everyone, right? Obviously, if you want those money, you can go and try to be a politician and see what are the downsides that come with it. So for influence also, it's not just all the upside, right? There's also a lot of downside. And then on and off, I always see people say, Singapore is such an expensive place to live in. Wow, thank you, PAP, that kind of nonsense, right? Then the thing is, I don't know, like it feels like it's a bit like frogs living in the well. So there's being born in Singapore is such good. Singapore is a very good spawn point. Basically, as long as you are born here, you have won at least 80%, 90% of the game already. So first of all, Singapore, the strength of SGD means that you can buy your iPhone with just 1 week of salary, as compared to Malaysia, you go and work 3 months, also barely enough to buy an iPhone. You go and travel, 6 months of your salary is gone. And that's just traveling in Asia. You go to Europe, 1 year of your salary is gone. As compared to Singapore, you go and work 1 month in Singapore, you can go travel to Europe already. Then the next thing is internet. Singapore internet is super cheap. Yeah, decent. Which means you can do a lot of live streaming, this kind of thing. You can start a business online. Then the third thing is transport. People say, MRT, they raised 10 cents this year. They are earning so much money, still want to raise money. But you don't understand, in Malaysia, you're driving a car, you stuck in a traffic jam, means that 3 hours of your life is gone every day. And that's one way. So you go there, come back, jam, 6 hours gone. If you live in KL, you live in other place, no jam, but your salary is below, at least 1 quarter or half of the KL salary. Okay. Then the third thing is Singapore's savings rate is so high. It's because they don't have to come up with the money to buy their house. They say, housing in Singapore is expensive. But then there's also grants, right, in Singapore. So they subsidize so much of your housing. They only need to use CPF to pay for a house. But then for condo people, they have to pay a lot more. Then the condo is your own problem. You go and buy so high, expensive housing for what? Then for investing part, is it investing? Singapore market, okay, wrong topic. For investing, there's no tax on your investments. So basically, what you get for other places, you invest, like in US. I don't know, the dividend tax the capital gains tax, then the estate tax, all will eat up all your gains. So yeah, so like I say, Singapore is a very good spawn point because everything is working in your most of the thing, not everything. Most of the thing is working in your favor. So if you still can't get rich in Singapore, there's probably something that is you are doing a bit wrong as compared to other people. Yeah.
Actually, can I get your definition, Kelvin, on what's your idea of getting rich? Do you think by 30 years old you need to hit a certain milestone, or do you have a certain benchmark?
I think everyone's situation is different, right? Some people, okay, they are born poor, they don't have a degree, their parents are not supporting them. So their starting point is a bit delayed as compared to, let's say, like Jiking. Okay, maybe you are giving your parents money, but some people don't need to. So then the parents pharma scholarship is sponsoring their entire university. So that maybe those will reach 100K by maybe 25 years old. We have seen that, right? So, but some don't have, so they'll maybe reach by 30 or 35 or even 40. But this goal is achievable, which means you will eventually reach 100K sooner or later. Then the rest, once you reach that, the rest is, I would say it's easier. The journey is very easy. Yeah.
Any concluding thoughts from Eric or Bunti?
No, I think Kelvin did a good job.
So, Eric, what do you think is the takeaway from this conversation? Like, if I just skip to the end,
Which conversation?
this whole episode.
Like, is it good to put your journey out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you have the determination to do it, content creation is one of the venues. Yeah, but if you're like me, like you're not so disciplined, every week will upload content, then watch lah. I mean, other people do it doesn't mean that you cannot do it, but you can watch along, participate if you want to. But if it doesn't suit you, then just move along. Lor. Like I think there are some people like they look at the thing, they are like very push strong. they want to leave a nasty comment. I don't know whether it makes their day to leave nasty comments on people.
Of course, tonight can sleep well, must sleep a bit, must fulfill the quota a bit. Otherwise, how to justify my failure? Like, I need to put other people's down. Otherwise, tonight I see my account, not much money, I'm very sad.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that when people cannot rationalize, they cannot understand how you do it, right? They will say something, make some snide remark. Yeah, so it's human nature. Yes. Yeah, although I don't really understand why we must put someone down. If we don't understand how they do it, it doesn't mean that we must. For example, if you see a creator, right, talks about like pumping stocks and all that, take leverage and all in everything, it may not be your style, but you don't have to like every day go and attack the person, right? Yeah, so I think
too,
that's one thing you can do. Just move on now. Like go look for creators or listen to someone, watch video that you agree with. Like there are like 100,000 people who like Kelvin's video, they follow him. But I guess that there are also a certain percentage of people who hate him and also follow him just so that they can sleep better at night. Like leave a nasty comment. Haha. I don't know. Yeah.
But I think long story short,
Mm.
I think there is an economy for most things. And like you said, like you are trying to find at the end of the day the people that you trust and the people that you are willing to listen to. So I think no harm, no foul. There is no issues with regards to why you think certain type of personalities have more following or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think we should just since we are at the center of our own universe, right? We should look inwards into how we can do better rather than try to pull other people down so that I feel better lah. So with that, I hope that's a good conclusion to this, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.